that gonna work? Hold on. Oh, that's better. Okay. Hello, Jacksonites, and welcome to I believe it's my third Q&A video. I know I like to kind of keep the Q&A videos subscriber count themed, but been gone for 8 months, and I figure now is as good a time as any to do this. Plus, I haven't done it in a long time, and I always enjoy doing these videos, so what the hell not? Yeah, first of all. There we go. Okay. Oh, and of course, oh, Salo is here. Hey, buddy. So I asked a whole bunch of my other YouTuber friends to give me a whole bunch of questions, specifically Ryan, Jackie Boy, and Sean. And of course, they've given me quite a few. Not really going to dick around with the details, so I'm just going to jump right into it. I have them all on my phone here. I'm actually going to start with Shawnee Boy. Question number 1 is favorite action movie. Hang on one second. Send me a link. I don't know how to do that. Hang on one second. I said Shawnee Boy. So I'll start with Shawnee Boy. Question number 1 is favorite action movie. Oh, damn. That's a tough one. Fuck, favorite action movie. Like, that could be its own video, like my top 15 favorite action movies. Hello there. Jackie Boy is here. Fuck, favorite action movie. Favorite action movie. I recently rewatched Die Hard, and I have a much higher appreciation of that film. I always did like Die Hard, but yeah, Die Hard's a pretty kick-ass movie, but I wouldn't say that's my favorite. I don't have a huge amount of nostalgia for that one. Love Commando. Mask of Zorro is a pretty good one. Not going to count martial arts movies because that's its own genre, I feel. Actually, for the moment, I'm probably have to say Commando because whenever I think just of pure action movies and of films action movies that I feel that have the most fun with, excuse me. The first one that comes to mind is Commando. I've said before in my stream with Shawnee Boy that I think Commando is Schwarzenegger's most fun movie. Like, you could just totally turn your brain off, sit back, and just watch the spectacle, and you'll have the time of your life. So, at the moment, I think I'll just say Commando. Favorite horror movie? John Carpenter's The Thing. I don't even have to think about that one. Favorite Godzilla villain / opponent? I like Gigan a lot, but I'm also a huge Mechagodzilla fan. Probably Mechagodzilla. I've said before that I've always believed that Mechagodzilla is Godzilla's ultimate foe. Next is favorite creature feature. Discounting Godzilla movies, of course. Favorite creature feature. You could count John Carpenter's The Thing as a creature feature, but I'm not going to count that. Favorite creature. There's The Mist comes to mind. Stephen King's The Mist. That's a great movie. Oh, Jackie Boy, tell me what'd you think of The Thing? Oh, The Fly. That's a good movie. I like The Fly 2 more, but The Fly is a great film. The Exorcist. It's a good movie, not a great film, but it's a good one. And of course, The Thing is my all-time favorite horror film, which is I still say is ironic because I don't like John Carpenter. Favorite creature feature. Stephen King's The Mist, that goes up there. That's a great one. Love the original creature from the Black Lagoon. There's also Them, the giant ant movie from the 1954. There's a ton of them. There's some of my favorites. Favorite DC movie, Aquaman. I don't even have to think about that one. That easily goes to Aquaman. DC movies have really been impressing me for the last few years. I feel like, despite what everyone says about the DCEU, I feel like we're in a DC renaissance. Because I think that all of the DCEU is good. There's some films that are better, and there's some films that are not as good. But even the non-DCEU films like Joker, fantastic movie. My favorite DC movie is Aquaman. Favorite Marvel movie, Avengers: Age of Ultron. It's my favorite superhero movie of all time. You already asked me what's my favorite horror movie. Rick O'Connell or Indiana Jones? Oh man, that's such a hard one because I have more nostalgia for. Hang on one second. Ugh. Let's not repeat the mistake of some of my earliest videos. Oh, you're not even plugged in. Oh, that's loads better. Okay. I still got to put that piece of paper back on that, but yeah, that's much better. Kind of pissed that Gina Davis hentai worm baby. Oh yeah. Well, that dream actually kind of comes true in The Fly too. So take that for what you will. Thing had great suspense and music, but The Fly was a lot more entertaining and shocking in its gore effects. See, I think The Thing is the far superior film to The Fly. Excuse me. Yeah, Rick O'Connell or Indiana Jones. God. Indiana Jones has more movies and also has more better movies. I love the first Mummy. The Mummy Returns is a good nostalgia piece for me, but it has not aged very well. And Tomb of the Dragon Emperor is just okay. Laura, no, not even close. Like Laura Croft doesn't even like is like maybe 1/16. Don't know who Johnny Thunder is. I really don't know. Rick O'Connell or Indiana Jones. Do you mean just as franchises or as characters? Because honestly, as characters, I would go much more towards Rick O'Connell because he's a gun nut. But Indiana Jones, he's more intelligent, and also he's his film series is more consistently better than the Mummy series. But I probably have to go Rick O'Connell. If I was to go on a dangerous adventure, I would want Rick O'Connell as my gun nut instead of Indiana Jones. Favorite movie hero, Ultraman Zero. Don't even think about that one. Favorite movie villain, Ultraman Belial. Favorite animated show, ooh. Batman Beyond. What comedy makes you laugh the most? See, I don't really know. Like, I would say Step Brothers, but I just watched that movie and it puts a smile on my face. That's legitimately not just my favorite comedy, but that's my favorite, one of my favorite films of all time. But like, Step Brothers doesn't make me just laugh out loud as much as it used to, which is unfortunate. The last comedy that I watched that just made me die of laughter was 2017's Baywatch. But since then, it hasn't made me just go. Comedy makes me laugh the most. I guess none at the moment, but I can tell you right now that Step Brothers, like I couldn't breathe for a couple minutes. Laughing so hard at that movie. So I guess Step Brothers, yeah. Most underrated movie franchise. The Ultraman franchise. I mean, it's getting a lot more attention now because Mill Creek got the rights to distribute all of the Ultraman franchise or all the Ultraman installments in the States. Thank God, because Chayo were just completely defeated in trying to steal their shit. Yeah, the Ultraman franchise. I still don't think it gets enough respect. Freddy, Jason, or Michael Myers? Well, in terms of film franchises and both as characters, Freddy loses every time. So don't even include Freddy into the picture. Even though Freddy has good movies, not counting Freddy versus Jason, in my opinion, there's only two that are good. I don't like most of the Nightmare on Elm Street franchise. The only ones I like is Part 2 and Part 6. No, 7. Excuse me, not 6. That's Freddy's Dead. That's one of the worst. So either Jason or Michael Myers. I think Halloween is the overall better franchise, but Jason is the more badass character. God, I don't know. I guess in terms of characters, I'll go with Jason. But if you were to tell me which franchise, I'd go for Halloween. Favorite video you and I have done together? Speaking, again, this is Shawnee Boy talking. Oh, man. Actually, no. Probably our top 12 Arnold Schwarzenegger movies. That one was really fun. So that's all the questions from Shawnee Boy. Now here's some questions from Jackie Boy. How did you get started on YouTube? Honestly, it was a fluke. It was a total fluke. Like, I discovered, oh my God, I can record videos and with my phone and upload them to YouTube. So I was like, oh shit, maybe I can start doing that. And then the rest is history. What were your influences? As in, like, who influenced my review style? Just kind of all over the place. In terms of my Godzilla reviews, absolutely, it was Zazubar, the YouTuber Zazubar. He did a series on his channel called Godzilla Palooza, where he reviewed every single Godzilla movie that's coming out at the time. And this was before Godzilla 2014, so it was just Gojira all the way up to Final Wars. But still, that series he did was just utterly spectacular. It was nothing like I'd ever seen before. Deep, long, in-depth reviews of every single Godzilla movie. Like I think the shortest episode of Godzilla Palooza is 36 minutes long, and that's on Godzilla versus the Sea Monster. Technically, he did also review Godzilla 1985, and technically that's the shortest, but I'm not going to count that because I don't count Godzilla 1985 as its own movie, even though it technically is. But it's a re-edit of Return of Godzilla, and Return of Godzilla is a much more superior film. So there's that. This is the same reason why I don't count the original Godzilla King of the Monsters as part of the Godzilla franchise, because it's just a re-edit of Gojira, and Gojira is a far superior film. But as far as my monster movie influences, it's from Zazubar, even though his channel's gone to shit, and I've lost all respect for him. I will still give him credit for Godzilla Palooza. It's one of the greatest Godzilla review series on YouTube I've ever seen. Possibly the greatest. For my rating system, actually, it's from you, Jackie Boy. I was inspired to rate films out of 10 by you. For my pros and cons, that goes to Toku Time, because at the end of all of his movie reviews, he does his section on pros and cons. Though with him, my general review style is very much so inspired by Toku Time. He talks about the movie's plot, and then he does pros and cons. But like the last quarter of his video is pros and cons, whereas the first half, I do it in thirds. The first third is personal history, second third is the plot, and then the last third is pros and cons. Sometimes it's even the last half. Yeah, my influences for my channel and my movie review style are kind of all over the place, but those are the real big three inspirations for myself. Number 1 favorite film, James Cameron's Avatar. Number 1 worst movie, mainstream, the Slenderman movie. But I have seen something that's worse than that, and that's a space zombie movie called Plaguers. Oh, God. It's this really bad aliens / Dead Space / zombie movie where it's got Steve Railsback in it, and he's clearly supposed to be a Lance Henriksen Bishop wannabe. It's so bad. The acting is bad. The sets are bad. The effects are bad. The ending is bad. It's just a bad movie. Like, that movie traumatized me. And I was so disappointed because the cover looked really good. And I've always thought that the idea of space zombies is such an underrated idea. Because having a zombie outbreak on a space station, granted, yeah, that sounds like Alien, but I still think that would be really cool. But Plaguers is the absolute worst way that you could do it. It's also one of those movies that ends with literally everybody dying. So you know how I don't like movies that are like that. So yeah, Plaguers is easily the worst piece of shit movie that I have ever seen in my life. But discounting that because it's direct-to-video, low-budget trash, If you want to go a little more mainstream, it's the Slenderman movie. I mean, not that I had much faith in the film to begin with. I remember when I saw the trailer, I remember saying, this looks like The Ring, and I'm not a big fan of The Ring. And then I just bought it on a whim. I wasted $13 on that piece of shit. And unfortunately, my wife had to suffer through that movie with me, too.
I only watched that.
Yeah, you did. But I had to watch the whole thing. Yep. Yeah, Slender Man is just garbage. Honestly, it feels like another repeat of the Bye Bye Man, in that the Bye Bye Man was supposed to be rated R when it was originally made, but the studio got cold feet, delayed the release to January, and re-edited the film for a PG-13 audience, and it's plain as day. It's full of bad jump scares, bad, boring characters, a predictable plot, and it's painfully neutered by the MPAA. Same goes for Slenderman. It's not officially confirmed if Slenderman was supposed to be R-rated, but there are a lot of scenes in the trailer for the film that do not appear in the final film. So that's why I really do suspect that it's just another Bye Bye Man case. None of the characters are interesting. Mickey Mouse. None of the characters are... hello. None of the characters are interesting. The story is boring and bland. The scares are non-existent because it's not scary at all. The one praise that I will give to the film is the music, because the music actually is really good. But okay. And also, you don't see Slenderman on screen until literally 47 minutes into the movie, and it's only 93 minutes long. 47 minutes. And it's a 93-minute long movie, and I'd say Slenderman himself has maybe 3 minutes of screen time. Ice cream? Yeah.
Not one.
A little later, yeah. So yeah, the Slenderman movie is just an ungodly piece of shit. And easily, as far as mainstream films goes, the Slenderman movie is easily the worst movie I've ever seen in my life. Outside of horror, sci-fi, monster, and superhero films, what's your favorite genre? Martial arts movies. Actually, if I was to... horror, sci-fi, monster, and superhero. Those are my top 5 favorite film genres. Horror, sci-fi, monster, and superhero films. And martial arts movies. Favorite Steven Spielberg movie? Jurassic Park. Best Peter Jackson film? King Kong 05. Favorite movie gun? Favorite movie gun? I could cheat and say any Ultraman's arms, but I'm not going to say that. Favorite movie gun? Fuck, that's a hard one. Favorite movie gun? I can't answer that. I don't really have one. Yeah, I'm sorry. I can't answer that. Favorite movie sword, excluding lightsabers. This one I think I can answer a little easier. Favorite movie sword. I still can't answer that, Jackie Boy. A gun used in multiple films or single gun from one movie. I can't answer that because I can give you favorite video game gun, but not a movie gun. If you want my favorite video game gun, the Doom Slayer Super Shotgun from Doom Eternal. But from film, I can't answer that. Can't think of a single one. Oh, that's a Spaz 12. Yeah. I can't answer that, dude. I'm sorry. I can't. I just can't think of a damn thing. Favorite movie sword, on the other hand. Love Conan's sword from Conan the Barbarian. Yeah, Aragorn's King's sword from Lord of the Rings is pretty badass. Wait, no, I know what it is. Ultraman Zero's Zero Twin sword. There you go. That's my favorite sword. What is one prop from one movie you'd like to own? The RoboCop suit. Favorite film score? It's actually not James Cameron's Avatar. That's one of them. Favorite film score. Score from Joker is pretty awesome. Score for Godzilla King of the Monsters is pretty awesome. Damn. I'll give you 5. Godzilla King of the Monsters, Joker, Avatar, Kong Skull Island, and Waterworld. And that's all the questions from Jackie Boy. Let's see, who next? I'll go for Ryan's questions. I gotta go back a little ways. Here we go. Ryan asks, have you watched the Arrowverse shows, Arrow, Flash, and Legends of Tomorrow? I've seen a little bit of the Flash, no interest in Arrow, and no interest in Legends of Tomorrow. And for what I've seen of the Flash, I'm really not that interested. Besides G98, what is a Godzilla movie that you love that everyone hates? Godzilla Raids Again. That one doesn't get a whole bunch of hate, but it gets quite a bit still. And I think it's understandable, but I still think Godzilla Raids Again is extremely underrated. How many sips of bleach is better than watching King Kong versus Godzilla? None. Name one really unnoticed or obscure film or movie that you love that you wish. I'll say film or TV show. Film or TV show that you love that you wish more people knew about. For TV show, Lost Tapes. Lost Tapes, Tremors the series, and the Ultraman franchise. As far as film goes, damn. Probably say the Tremors franchise. I know you said one movie, but the Tremors series as a whole, I really wish had a lot. The Tremors series has a very dedicated fan base, but I still feel like that series has never gotten the attention that I think it deserves. And then he gives me 2 more today, or 2 or 3. What is your favorite score to a film? I already answered that question. Do you like any other genre of show or movie besides sci-fi and horror, and ones you don't talk about on YouTube? No, honestly. I just gave my 5 favorite film genres. Occasionally I like drama movies, but there kind of has to be a twist. to it, like Shawshank Redemption. That's a drama movie, but it's a prison drama. That's a twist on it. Same goes for The Green Mile, but that's a supernatural prison drama. So yeah, I occasionally like drama movies, but like I don't like rom-coms. I'm really picky choosy with comedies, and same with dramas. There has to be kind of a spin on comedy. Like I can't just watch a pure, just funny movie right off the bat. It has to either look really funny or I have to just know of it. But like I'm really picky choosy with comedies. Now let's see. Justin gave me some questions. Here we go. Justin asks, how would you rank the Lord of the Rings and Hobbit films? Well, I still haven't seen all the Hobbit movies. I've only seen the first two. Let's see. At the bottom of the barrel is Desolation of Smaug. It's got really good moments to it, but then the whole scene with Lake Town just brings the movie to a screeching halt. Then Fellowship of the Ring. I have a shit ton of nostalgia for Fellowship of the Ring, but feel like there's a little too much exposition. It's understandable because it's setting up the movie's universe and setting up the backstory and all that, but I feel like it's just a tad too light on action, but it has really good action scenes in it. Then Return of the King. Return of the King is a great film, but it's not quite as rewatchable as the rest of the series. Like you really have to be invested in the series to watch Return of the King. Like I can pop on any other Lord of the Rings movie just at random and watch it, but with Return of the King, I have to be marathoning it. I can't just randomly pop in Return of the King. Then Two Towers. I have a lot of nostalgia for Two Towers, and that the Battle of Isengard is fucking amazing. And then finally, honestly, it's Hobbit 1. I have the most nostalgia, or not the most nostalgia, but I have the most fond memories with the first Hobbit film. It's just an excellent movie. What are some of your favorite moments in the MonsterVerse so far? Godzilla's Kiss of Death in 2014. Kong versus the big one in Kong Skull Island. And God, there's multiple moments. Like Godzilla's first appearance, or Godzilla's first fight against Ghidorah in King of the Monsters. Ghidorah's alpha roar in King of the Monsters. And Godzilla versus King Ghidorah in the final battle. There you go. Did you ever read / listen to the Godzilla NES creepypasta by any chance? Yes, I did. The videos that were put up by Goji73. Those videos actually scared the fuck out of me when I first saw that. Which cryptids do you wish actually existed? Sasquatch, for one. Loch Ness Monster, 2. I wish a lot of cryptids existed. Which lost / canceled film projects fascinated you the most? There's a lot of canceled Godzilla movies that I find to be really intriguing. So that's its own list in and of itself. The original idea for a 5th Phantasm film. I have become a Phantasm film in the last few months, but I wish we got the original idea for a 5th Phantasm film instead of Phantasm Ravager. So that one's pretty good. If Atragon was given the normal production schedule and Manda left out, where would you rank it? I honestly don't know. I really can't answer that question. Because if it was made into a TV series, that I probably would rank it much higher, but I just don't think that idea is good for a movie. Were you able to get your hands on that Godzilla Criterion box set, or are you still saving dough? I am still saving for that. It went out of stock temporarily, but now it's back, but it's a little bit more expensive. So I think I'm going to save that for Christmas. Which visual effects technique that Subaraya's team used did you think was the most ingenious? The underwater volcano explosion for Latitude Zero certainly comes to mind. I'll go with that for now. What do you think are some of the best kaiju properties derived from Godzilla, not counting Gamera or Ultraman? None. I know you and your wife now watched Godzilla King of the Monsters in theaters. Did she watch any other G films since then? She has seen Godzilla 2014, and she watched bits and pieces of the first anime Godzilla movie, but that's about it. Which irks you more, being called a toxic fan or not a true fan? Oh, God, that's a horrible question. Well, I haven't been called a toxic fan in a long time. But when somebody says you're not a true fan, that really bothers me because I just feel like that's a sense of being a snob and being entitled. Like, if your opinions don't completely match up with mine, you're just not a true fan. I just feel like that's an insult. So I'd probably say not a true fan. That irks me more, probably. Which type of movie is harder for you to watch? One that is rushed or one that is boring? I actually had a conversation with my wife about this a couple of days ago. Probably one that's boring, because there are movies out there that are rushed, but they're still entertaining. Like the Justice League movie, which is what me and my wife talked about. It's rushed, and it's clearly a Frankenstein film, but it's still entertaining. But a film that's boring, I feel like that's a movie. I've said this before. I feel like that's a movie's greatest sin, is if it's boring. Were there any movies you watched in theaters this year before the pandemic struck? Yes, one. Me and my wife watched Birds of Prey in theaters. That's it. If Godzilla vs. Kong included some Easter eggs from KKVG, what would you like to see? Kong fight a giant octopus. Would it be fair to call King of the Monsters a Hollywood equivalent of Final Wars, since those two movies have many similarities? I guess so, yeah. I think it's fair. There's a shit ton of action, a lot of monsters, not nearly as much, obviously, because Final Wars is a lot more. But yeah, I think that's fair. And that's it from Justin. And then I had my friend Jeff, Unigamer661, posted some questions on my update video. Let me find that. Hang on. Of course, my phone has to be super slow right now. Okay, here we go. From Unigamer661, who are some YouTubers who made you want to do videos on YouTube? I already answered that. Jackie Boy, Toku Time, and Zazubar. Those are the big three. If offered a chance to fight any YouTuber in a boxing match, who would you want to fight? Get behind the camera. What big-time YouTuber would you like to work with? I want to work with Jackie Boy, even though I have, but I'd actually like to do an actual video with him and I in the same video together. I'd also like to work with James Rolfe. Besides YouTube, what would be your dream job? Getting paid to watch and review movies. What is one movie you could watch over and over again? There's tons of those, but Suicide Squad certainly comes to mind. Aquaman comes to mind. There's plenty of Godzilla movies I could watch over and over again. A few Ultraman movies I could watch again and again. There's plenty of those out there. RoboCop, Terminator. What is one movie? Or wait, no, hang on, I already asked that. If you could remake any movie, what would it be, and who would you cast in the movie? Okay, this is a good question. I really have to think about this. One movie that I would remake. Damn. I would like to do a remake of King Kong and draw more inspiration from the original Peter Jackson script from the early 90s. For Jack Blood, or not Jack, yeah, totally. For Carl Denham, I would cast Patrick Wilson and kind of do more of a hybrid of the good-natured Carl Denham from 2005 and more of the cutthroat douchebag from the original film, because Patrick Wilson is very good at playing cutthroat douchebags. For Captain Englehorn, I would cast Liam Neeson. For what's his name? Jack Driscoll. That's it. For Jack Driscoll, who would I cast? Who would I cast as Jack Driscoll? Probably Chris Pratt. And like have him bring his persona of Owen Grady from Jurassic World. They'll make it a little bit more badass. If I could, I would bring back Andy Serkis to play Kong. And for Ann Darrow, who would I cast as Ann Darrow? Who would I cast as Ann Darrow? I'm totally drawing a blank. Who would I cast as Ann Darrow? I can't answer that. I don't know who I would cast as Ann Darrow. I can't answer that. I don't want to. I can't answer that. Yeah. So there's a movie that I would remake. I would remake King Kong. Who is one celebrity you would like to meet and hang out with? I can give you a few. I'd love to meet Arnold Schwarzenegger. I would love to meet Sylvester Stallone. Chris Pratt, I'd like to meet. John Cena and The Rock. What is the funniest prank you ever pulled on someone? Putting the rubber snake in the toilet for my mom. If you could be on any TV show, what would it be? Honestly, none. I wouldn't want to be on any TV shows. And I believe that's it. That's all the questions that I got. Oh, God. That's all I really have to say. Look forward to tomorrow's video where I'm going to do a retrospective on all the movies that I saw in 2019. Post your comments down below. Let me know what you think. Hit the like button and hit the subscribe button and share this video with your friends. And as always, I will see you guys in the next video.